Okay, here we are in game 2 between TeRRoR and Melkor. We have Melkor in the red, TeRRoR in the green. TeRRoR winning game 1, and now we've swapped civs, so TeRRoR will be playing with the Goths, and Melkor will be playing with the Persians. We've had a couple of restarts, and now let's go take a look at the map. So TeRRoR, both of his board in the back, gold in the back. Both of his stones are forward though, as is his other gold and his main gold pretty far forward close to the walls. So other than this, all of his resources pretty forward. It's going to be pretty tough for him to defend all of them. And his deer are also pretty far outside as well. Meanwhile, Melkor, back main gold, really nice. Another gold in the back. Stone outside his walls. This stone towards the wall might be safe on this side. This side could get harassed. And other gold pretty far forward in the corner. Nothing else in the back. Extra resources pretty much in the middle of the map. Gold and stone over here. Other gold out here. And relics 2 here. Pretty much in the middle, a bit closer to TeRRoR. And another 3 off to the side here. So both players with lots of forward resources. And all the extra resources are in the middle. Melkor's deer also outside of his base. And we'll see that villager going to berries, as Melkor is also going to build the house before taking the boar. He'll end up taking his 5th sheep before that boar comes in then, as he sends more villages to berries. And we'll see TeRRoR doing the same thing, bringing in his boar, just as that 5th sheep expires. And garrisoning the villager. Goths, of course, killing the boar very quickly. Now 4 villagers going over to berries, as he has 4 on the lumber camp, chopping the trees behind the lumber camp. Of course, villagers can chop those trees diagonally, helps make a nice pocket behind the lumber camp where your villagers can chop later. Now going for another house before taking the 2nd boar. And let's check their scouting. TeRRoR has come forward to check the walls of Melkor. He will see that the stone and the gold are pretty far forward. Melkor, meanwhile, just scouting around his own base now, sending his scout around the map. We'll see if he decides to push in these deer from outside, and we'll see what TeRRoR decides to do with his deer, if he'll delete a hole, or use a sheep to hold open the gate, or even just push them through the gate. You can, of course, push deer through a gate without using a sheep. If you get behind the deer, and it'll start running into the gate, and kind of get halfway through its running animation, then you use the scout to open the gate, and it'll run through. But that could be kind of tricky with this gold here. You only have a 1 tile wide path to get the deer around the gold. And just finishing up his 2nd boar, as the villagers will be moving over to sheep. Going over to gold now. And we'll see. With the Goths, he could, of course, decide to mine some stone and go for a castle. And we'll see where he sends his next villager. TeRRoR likes to go up on 28 population, and it looks like he will be doing that. So we'll see 3 villagers going to stone. He'll click up, probably go 28 plus 2 and build a castle. That'll help him defend his resources. Hasn't scattered this stone and that gold, but he sees everywhere inside, so he knows they're going to be outside his walls. And yep, scouting gold right now. And he could put the castle maybe either to defend this gold, or out to defend both the stone and the secondary gold. Melkor going up on 26 population as the Persians. They do, of course, start with 50 extra food and wood, so they have a few options. They could go scouts on 26 population. It looks like he's going to do that, putting down a barracks, and then we'll probably see stable blacksmith for scouts. That's pretty standard. As he has 10 on wood down here. And getting to the feudal age, barracks was a bit late. And we'll see what he does next. Now, blacksmith, getting rid of the blacksmith and putting down a market instead. We could be going market stable. Of course, the downside to that is you need the blacksmith to build the siege workshop, so you can't really get aggressive. You might go market stable and just try to use some scouts to collect the relics and then boom behind it. But then he won't have a mangonel to defend if TeRRoR decides to pressure him. As dropping off food and going up to the castle age. And TeRRoR going up as well. Looks like Melkor had created a couple more villagers in feudal, so they're both up on the same population. Melkor will be up a bit more quickly. Looks like he's up 12 seconds faster. And he will indeed start to queue up scouts soon, as the scouts are fighting. Looks like TeRRoR got the first hit, but Melkor is going to run back. Will TeRROR's scout get inside? And nope, doesn't look like he wants to run inside. Or maybe that was a misclick and he ran out. But anyway, now scouts coming out from Melkor, and we'll see TeRRoR will see. Not going to be able to see those buildings. He will see that house. But now that they're up to castle, we'll see if Melkor decides to send a villager forward, and it looks like he is doing exactly that. Might build a monastery in the middle of the map. Of course, he does need a blacksmith if he wants to build a siege workshop, and TeRRoR is going to put the castle defensively and build a monastery to start collecting the relics. Melkor will have a lot of map control with these scouts, though, so it will be pretty hard for TeRRoR to get the relics. And forward blacksmith from Melkor. This is what I like to see. Building the blacksmith aggressively to pressure TeRRoR with all those blacksmith techs. And of course, he's going to probably put the siege workshop next to that, but it's weird that he went for the market and not the blacksmith right away. Monk gonna start pushing that scout away, but Melkor pretty much has the map control he needs. TeRRoR looks like he's rebuilding his lumber camp to make it closer, going up on another town center. And we'll see. Monk's trying to get some converts, but getting one scout, but losing one monk. Now TeRRoR getting out some Huskarls. Now in the first game we saw Melkor just go for a boom before putting up the castle. In this game, TeRRoR opted to go for the castle and put some town centers behind that. We'll see once he gets wood if he puts down another castle. The mangonel going to come out, but be vulnerable to the Huskarl. TeRRoR, yep, there he goes, attacking the mangonel. That's going to go down. Now, with the Huskarls, he could get the map control he needs to help pick up the relics. But Melkor has a few monks coming out, monks of course being a pretty good counter to Huskarl. They don't get the conversion resistance that scouts do. And he'll probably get a couple converts here. That monk still needing to regain his faith. And yep, 2 converts on the Huskarl. Will that monk stay alive? And looks like it will, yep. So now this monk gonna try to snag a relic down here. We'll see if he gets to it. These villagers being retasked. And 3rd town center now coming up for TeRRoR. So he's gonna, with the castle, he's gonna be able to start creating a massive Huskarl a lot sooner. In the previous game, we saw that Melkor wasn't quite able to come up with the number of Huskarls he needed to be able to engage the hand cannons from TeRRoR. So maybe having the castle sooner will help him get that massive Huskarls a bit more quickly. But now, he's down about 5 villagers as Melkor is only on 1 TC though. So Melkor is going to be going, looks like he's going for a 1 TC push, trying to get really aggressive against the Goths, who of course can't build stone walls. TeRRoR could wall up with some houses around here and force everything to come in through that castle. And Mangonel's now coming out. We'll see where Melkor decides to pressure. As this monk gonna try to get back with a relic, but it's really low on HP. And Melkor has a scout patrolling. And even a Mangonel. Will he see this? Will the monk just manage to sneak in? Doesn't look like it. That scout's coming back into the line of sight. Mangonel coming over as well. And getting the attack ground to finish off the monk. And right now with 2 relics. And picking up the rest of them. So TeRRoR now doesn't have access to stone. This Mangonel's going to be able to force him completely off of stone. He's going to be stuck on this 1 castle. If Melkor could get a way to take out that castle, it might prevent TeRRoR from getting all the Huskarl upgrades he needs. But it looks like he's just going to go for some Mangonel pressure, firing right now at the mining camp. As Jon Snow, we'll see him start to pull ahead in villagers as Melkor is still on only 1 town center. And sending monks to pick up that relic. Yeah, there's 3 in right now. And you're going to start pressuring down the gate. We'll see how TeRRoR decides to wall behind this. Doesn't want Melkor to get in over here. Looks like he's going to send a villager, build some houses over here. Yep, going to get a nice house wall as this gate goes down. Now queuing up more Huskarl. He has his boom going on, has 3 town centers, and with some Huskarl. He's going to need a lot of Huskarl to be able to engage. There's 5 monks here, and he's already lost 2 Huskarl to conversion. Doesn't want to lose more. This gate about to go down. About 1,000 HP left. 3 mangonels firing at it. And his wall will go up though. And more farms being added in the back. Of course, Scots do need a lot of farms. And now doing the forging upgrade to help get more attack to take out the monks. Persians, of course, don't get sanctity. Now 4 mangonels on the gate as it goes down. Now Melkor can get in, and let's check what he can see in the scouting. Gonna see the monastery. And you're gonna run your scout into the castle where it will be taken out. And he's gonna pressure down the monastery, stop TeRRoR from making monks. Of course, Goth monks not the greatest, but that will give Melkor a nice hole to run into. He has to be careful he doesn't run in too far, because then the Huskarl can ungarrison from this castle. And now doing the next attack upgrade, and he has quite a few Huskarl garrison in there, 8 right now, making more as he's taking a sizable villager lead. Now on those 3 town centers, has Melkor added in another town center? Yep, Melkor just now adding in 3 town centers. So we see him going for a boom behind this push, but he's already committed a lot to that push with 5 mangonels and 8 monks. And monks now trying to get a convert on the scout as TeRRoR adds barracks in the back. Monks. Can the monks get the Huskarl back? No, it looks like they're going to be deleted. And now mangonel is just going to try to make this a bit wider, make things a bit easier to micro. And take out a couple houses. And Anarchy now coming out. We'll be able to make some Huskarl from the barracks as even more farms coming out from Jon Snow. And this push, destroying a lot of houses, but not really getting in. A camel coming out from Melkor. That's interesting. I don't think the Goth player will be making much cavalry, but I guess it will defend against the light cavalry defense. But Huskarl, what we're going to see. Oh, and is now housed due to losing those houses, so good of the mangonels. But mangonels getting pretty far forward. Could even manage to take out a town center. There's a lot of mangonels there. And TeRRoR will probably need to delete that mill at some point when he ungarrisons his castle. But even more Huskarl coming up in the back. TeRRoR is going to start losing these town centers. But now the Huskarl are coming forward. And getting the converts on the camels. As the Huskarl come forward and they need to engage the monks. The monks need to get some converts here, getting a couple, but a lot of the monks are going down. Only 5 left, and those monks will need to regain their faith now, so TeRRoR can engage. Camels. That mangonel is going to escape on 1 HP. This town center, still 3... Oh, nope. Finally going to get it with the camel. This town center looks like villagers aren't repairing. They're just standing around the side of it. But it looks like against 3 mangonels, he has enough villagers there to repair it. Finally tasked them to repair it. And Huskarl is going to come in from the back and clean up these scorpions. Melkor, though, has put on a lot of pressure, is getting some idle time on these villagers, is denying a lot of these farms, and has retaken the villager lead off of his 3 town centers. But now it doesn't look like Melkor is going to be able to do anything against these Huskarl. There's enough barracks here with Anarchy that they can engage these monks now. And looks like the monks and the mangonels and everything from this fort is going to get cleaned up. And there we go. Melkor is going to be forced to retreat with his forward blacksmith and 2 siege workshop. And looks like Jon Snow has cleaned this up, has taken the score lead, is now going to start doing the armor upgrades for the Huskarl. And see, Melkor is going to be first up to the Imperial Age, though, adding in another monastery. So looks like he's going to be adding some monks to deal with the Huskarl. And we'll see if he also goes for hand cannons. Could use doing well to rebuild that lumber camp there. Adding in more mills in the back. More farms. As these Huskarl from TeRRoR are just going to start moving across the map. Let's check their scouting. Hasn't found this extra gold on the side. Melkor has found all the extra resources. Very good scouting of the inside of the arena. Yep, and gonna lose a mangonel to the Huskarl. And a monk. Probably needs to reset his gather points. And could even lose a second monk. Oh, that monk. Not gonna get the convert because it moved. And broke its conversion. Monk's gonna force the Huskarl away from the wall though. And TeRRoR. Lots of Huskarl up to about 30 military units, but still not up to the Imperial Age. Melkor going up, just now doing wheelbarrow, doing gold shaft mining. Looks like he's going to be finishing up his eco upgrades. His eco is about the same, Melkor up by 5 villagers. Adding more houses in the back, a university in the back, so we'll probably see him go for hand cannon. Now, walling up with just a palisade, not going to stop much, but I think maybe if the Huskarl try to push in, he can keep the hand cannon back here. Now, TeRRoR himself now clicking up to the Imperial Age. Clicking up at 33 minutes, so he'll be up around 36. Was under a lot of pressure, did get delayed quite a bit. Looks like he had stopped Huskarl production for a bit as he was clicking up. But now doing his gold mining and the next armor upgrade for his Huskarl. As chemistry coming in from Melkor, and we'll probably see him start to put down some archery ranges and go for some hand cannons and a barracks. Interesting that we're going for another barracks. Persians, of course, only getting longsword. Champions are a really good unit to use against the Huskarl, but Persians, of course, they only get longsword, they don't get champions. And now archery range coming down the back. Maybe that was supposed to be an archery range, who knows. And then another archery range coming out. And yeah, it's not like he's going to be going for pikemen or halbs, because Goths aren't going to be making cavalry, they're going to be focusing on these Huskarl. Now, Imperial Age eco upgrades coming in, heavy plow for TeRRoR, as players are just going to keep on booming as they head up. Melkor with the villager lead. As these houses, though, in the middle are going to get cleaned up. He's going to need to rebuild them. Well, not going to be too much of a problem. He has some pop space. Hasn't been taking stone, though. Not going to be able to put up a castle. We'll be missing conscription. And we'll be denied from these forward stones, so no trebuchets either. If Jon Snow decides to come forward with castles, he will have to defend with bombard cannons. And now lots of archery ranges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 archery ranges. He's going to be pumping hand cannons. And there we go, starting to come out. This is quite a few Huskarl. Goths will have the production advantage. With all this map control, maybe we'll see TeRRoR come forward and build his barracks forward. And now elite Huskarl coming in. Melkor doing stone mining, and it looks like he will be starting to take this stone. And a few more camels from him. And trying to take this gold from the side of his base too. Problem is he's going to start running out of resources. His main gold is running out, and this gold pile isn't going to last him forever. Needing to add more houses around the back. He's going to run out of space too. And deleting a space in his palisade. Scouting with the camels. We'll see what is scouting. Hasn't found any forward buildings from TeRRoR. Of course, he could be palisade scanning to check for them. But now barracks, very defensive. Of course, needing to build houses to wall up because they don't get the Goths don't get stone walls. Gonna come out to build a mining camp. Might look to put a town center on one of these extra resource piles. But now lots of hand cannon coming out. Players are about equal in military numbers. And you're gonna put an outpost here, very important for scouting. And the rest of the upgrades coming in Blast Furnace now for the Huskarl. And is he queuing up more? No, not queuing up more Huskarl yet, but adding in more barracks. So he will be going heavy into the Huskarl. Has moved on to his back gold as well. All of his houses in the back giving him the Goth 210 population. Continuing to add in villagers. And score is still pretty even at this point, as the hand cannon just patrolling around the front. No engagement yet from either player. But now it looks like Jon Snow's going to come forward with the Huskarl. Could this outpost? The outpost is going to go up. Melkor is going to see this. Camels are going to be there. lose a camel to conversion again. There we go. As Melkor does the last of the upgrades on the hand cannon. And bringing forward the converted Huskarl as well to fight here. It's going to be tough for the Huskarl to engage. Might be good for Melkor to move the hand cannon more into this corner, put them in a tighter location. But there's just so many Huskarl there. Monks coming in from the back, going to try to get some conversions. So many units going down there. Look at that pile of bodies on the ground. As hand cannons are getting cleaned up, the Goth player will be able to create much faster and replenish his losses. Remember, in that first game, TeRRoR was so careful with his hand cannon not to lose any. Now Melkor he killed a lot of Huskarl there, but he's getting cleaned up and he's not going to be able to replenish his losses as quickly. Now the Goth player about double the military size as the Huskarl has just come forward, streaming across the map. Barracks are now coming forward as well. And huge production advantage right now for the Goths. Persian player doing guilds. Gonna help sell his resources. See, TeRRoR hasn't scouted that he's taking that gold. Would be good to pressure that, maybe even just with a tower or something there. But now we'll need a way to get through the gate. Hand cannon can just stand behind there for a while and shoot at the Huskarl. Stone here will be able to be pressured, as Melkor now has the stone for a castle. Don't see him building one anywhere. Oh, but so many archery ranges right now. Still on 7 ranges, producing hand cannon from all of them. But you just can't match the Goth production. Look at all these barracks. That's 3 back here. Another 5 up here, that's 8 barracks, and these Huskarl are going to create so quickly, now up to 51 military, and coming forward with some siege workshops. And it's going to help him press into these walls, get to those hand cannon. And Melkor has come out here to do town center that gold, as TeRRoR hasn't noticed and tries just to put a mining camp there, but there will be some barracks coming up over here to send some Huskarl into that town center, deny that gold from Melkor. Melkor also has 1 villager out here on a mining camp, and Jen, so of course hasn't scattered that. So that villager looks like she'll be safe there, just to do some mining. And see, what's he not queuing up anything yet? And husbandry and scale birding coming out. Ooh, that's interesting. Could he be going for? So he has a lot of gold. Could he be going for Cavalier to attack the Huskarl? But has TeRRoR seen that? No, but maybe he's just prepared for it. Checking out into pikemen. Yes, he is also going to be running out of gold pretty soon. But taking into pikemen, that will be a nice counter to these cavalry. Castle goes up, so he will be able to get conscription now. He has 3 siege workshops, cavalry ram coming in, battering rams coming out. And wall down here, keep his stone miners safe. Kind of unfortunate the stone is in the trees, will be hard to surround it. Can't really add more villages than he has already. And up to now about 44 military units has gotten back to a sizable mass of hand cannon with all these archery ranges. And doing light cavalry, and that might help take fight with the Huskarl. This town center is going to go down. TeRRoR going to be able to secure this gold. And conscription coming in will help him produce, but that's a lot of siege workshop there. And lots of captor rams being queued up. And forward university. Before we saw the forward blacksmith, and now we see the forward university from TeRRoR. Of course, villager was there, might as well use her to build it. And hand cannon not going to be able to do anything against the rams, so good choice by TeRRoR versus the hand cannon. And that gate gonna go down really quickly. It's even locked so that the units didn't run outside. And Huskarl also gonna start going into the house. House will go down quickly. And TeRRoR is going to be in. Looks like Melkor ended up deleting that little palisade wall he had made. And now Hussar coming in. Of course, only 2 melee armor for the Huskarl, so they will take quite a bit of damage from the Hussar, but Melkor hasn't done the attack upgrades for them yet. Now, adding in some stone walls, just trying to make it a bit more difficult for the Huskarl to get us around on the hand cannon. As TeRRoR moves in, now adding in the halberdier, but they will go down to the hand cannon. And Look at all those resources from TeRRoR. He's pop cap. He can pump Huskarl forever. As Melkor also has lots of resources, also is pop capped, but doesn't quite have the army he needs to counter these Rams and Huskarls. Maybe he could have gone into Cavalier instead of Hussar with all this resource he has. Lots of wood too he could sell, because we did see him doing guilds. Lots of stone he could sell as well. And his hand cannon is just going to stand in the back. Maybe we could see Onager come out from the Goth player, get some shots on the hand cannons, but still losing. He had all 5 relics. Now they've gone. They're out of the monastery. Villagers repairing isn't going to do much against all those Rams. And nice little stone wall back here. It's still going to help protect his castle, keep us safe from the Rams. Melkor is just... he needs to try to hold out here, kill enough Huskarls to bleed TeRRoR out of resources, but looks like TeRRoR has finally found this mining camp up here. Has secured all the extra resources on the map, and he's pushing in. Hussar helping to clean up the Rams. There's just so many Huskarl here. Cleaning up these villagers. And he can even come in now and start taking the relics back. Still a lot of Hussar here from Melkor. But all these Huskarls just coming in, streaming across the map, being created so quickly, coming out from all these barracks. And Hussar needing to path all the way around, come out the back gate and come around, come to the back. Who is going to head towards the siege workshop, might pick off a couple of Rams here, but there are Huskarl there to defend. The Hussar has now started doing the attack upgrades on them, so they will be a bit more effective now taking out the Rams. But these hand cannons slowly dying as they can't be replenished as quickly as the Huskarl. And Melkor is backing himself further and further into a corner. As the Rams coming in, going to be able to take out Melkor's main TC. And this looks like the GG push here from TeRRoR. Not much that the Persian can do against all this production. And that town center, look at all those Rams, going to go down really quickly. Hussar not going to be able to do anything to take out those Rams. They don't have enough Hussar. And more Huskarl and more Rams just coming in. So many Rams now from TeRRoR, going to take out these buildings incredibly quickly. And Melkor now starting to lose his archery ranges. And there's the GG from Melkor. A really strong push from TeRRoR, fighting off that early aggression from the forward blacksmith. And let's go take a look at the achievements. Military. Yeah, Melkor getting up to the Imperial Age faster, but TeRRoR was able to hold out long enough that he could just get that Goth production into full swing. Lots of relic gold from Melkor, 3,500. Did help him out, but not enough in the end. Alright, GG. We'll jump into Game 3 next.